Hello again, and welcome back to the Sports Informer podcast, where we will delve behind the curtain and unpick current and past trends in sports. In this edition, we will be looking at how broadcasters use their national identity to promote content. Broadcasters are increasingly held up in this country as beacon-like forces for our digestion of sports, with Sky Sports and BT holding a monopoly over English and European competitions at this moment in time. Sport has always been linked to the idea of nationalism. In the 1800s, when sport was really beginning to grow, it became a new form of battleground to integrate national competition through a new athletic spectre. In the past, sport served to mark clear distinctions of prestige and class, as well as power between nation states. Therefore, it could be the case that these are still part of the continuing generation's mindset, and this has been completely moulded by the sport and social media symbiotic relationship. In relation to nationalism, because what we have seen on the TV over the years against our countries, it has moulded the way that we see other countries. It's created rivalries that go further than sport purely due to the mass media surrounding sport, which creates a we versus them mentality. So, how have the broadcasters used nationalism in the modern age? Let's look at the ABC coverage of the Paralympics, which was broadcasted exclusively on this network in Australia. The social media coverage by the official ABC website displays a clear inclination to divert attention to their own programming. But how do they do this? By using language within this social media output and the actual number of posts relating to this event that are churned out in a short space of time. If we link this to the Olympics from the previous time, we can see a trend. 7 networks' coverage of the Rio Olympics in Australia contained a nationalistic rhetoric. Australian and non-Australian athletes received different attention and were also represented distinctively. 14 out of the 20 most mentioned athletes were Australian. As well as this, Australian success was due to athletic ability and composure, whereas non-Australian success was due to experience. Failure for Australians was manufactured as unlucky and it not being their day. But back to ABC. They tweet so much more than any event during this time. A lot of this content is reminder posting, that being almost little nudges to the audience to get onto their programming. These tweets are trivial at best. It's a timeline completely drowned out by innocuous posting around the Paralympics, with bold lettering and evocative language to undoubtedly deliver a sense of importance. There is no way these networks don't know how to attract attention, and once this attention is grabbed, we see that every post ends with at least one and sometimes 3 separate links to ABC exclusive programming. For example, the You Little Ripper podcast, a separate venture to live coverage to milk every last viewer out of their programming, along with live blogs to delve into a variety of formatting around their product. Interestingly, we don't see this for the non-ABC exclusive programming. Now, this could be pure allegiance to their nation, but it would be naive to suggest that big corporations value passion over profit and commercial interest. There were 208 tweets about the Paralympics by ABC, whereas for the US Open, there were only 67 tweets, which supports the idea that there is a two-pronged method of attraction here by the broadcasters, using bold lettering and peacocking to attract attention and diverting attention to their exclusive items by choosing to not cover other events as much, making it inevitable for people to notice the content they are trying to promote. If we apply this to different exclusive broadcasters around the world, we'll come across CBC in Canada. They had exclusive rights to the Paralympics also, like ABC, but CBC tweeted 891 times about the Paralympics. The vast majority of these were centred around Canadian athletes, and inevitably, these tweets almost all include links to exclusive CBC content. When not tweeting about the Canadians, the content is very short, making the link to the broadcasters stand out further. So from this, we should ask ourselves a question. Would a company driven by shareholders promote national athletes this much if there was not a monetary incentive to use national passion to drive numbers? The best way to prove this is to branch out into broadcasters that aren't at the behest of shareholders, such as the BBC. In terms of the BBC and the Paralympics, they only tweeted 131 times, and even these were extremely infrequent and buried amongst transfer moves and football news, which will not, without doubt, will engage a global audience. So why would they do this? In my view, this is due to competition. Channel 4 had the broadcast rights to the Paralympics and saw an exponential growth in viewing figures. According to the official Channel 4 website, their coverage was viewed by a third of the UK population, and even their tweets surrounding the event had 500 million global impressions. So, why would the BBC contribute to the growing stronghold of UK viewership to their main competitors? If they were to promote the Paralympics more via Twitter, what would they actually gain from this? This is the whole point of their strategic social media output, to get more viewers and impressions to maybe go viral and be seen constantly and around the world. So it's no wonder that their global appeal has been latched upon, as they know that to a worldwide audience, if there is news about the English Premier League, no matter where other people are in the world, they will look to the British Broadcast Corporation. Therefore, to cap off, it seems obvious to say that national identities are latched upon to sell broadcast media, because why wouldn't it be? It's used in all other areas of marketing that we see within our daily lives. British made, British and Irish beef, these terms seem innocuous, but they are terms that are used for quality assurance, because we all want to think our country provides the best product. In the end, it's impossible to tell whether these corporations' main motivation for promoting their athletes is for monetary gain, or genuine care for how their people do. But what we do know is that they will not shy away from latching their products onto these people or events, and they will be hoping a viral sensation arises that they can connect to their exclusive product. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to join me next week when I'll be exploring the way that football grew across the planet.